Okay, so today we'll be taking a look at the various tools that a UX designer would be using. So, although there are multiple tools out there, I will also highlight the ones that are the most important for you to know and that we will cover in this course. And most importantly, is that you need to keep in mind that the top tools I'm about to show you are the ones you need to focus on. So don't get overwhelmed. So I love this website. It's called UXToolco. It goes over all of these tools, but I will just go over the most important ones. So the first kind of dimension, obviously, that you would be doing is UI design, designing for user interfaces. So Figma is the top one, is the most used one, and I would recommend you to use it. There are some companies who still use Adobe XD and Sketch. These were the older ones. Actually, Adobe purchased Figma as a company, but hopefully Figma will stay independent. So the most important thing for you to know is that Figma is your go-to tool, and that's the tool we'll be using. They have a good template library. They have a lot of plugins that make the design process so much easier. So the cost is $144. I think a lot of companies use it. You can use a free account, and I think you will have just 3 files in general to work with, but the files can have multiple pages in them. So you won't have any limitation. You can use the free trial as long as you want. It's more than enough for someone learning this job. We have basic prototyping. So in the basic prototyping, obviously, when you prototype and you create a clickable prototype, believe it or not, Figma has that feature. So you don't have to worry about doing it. Before, people who used to use Sketch would use InVision as a prototyping space that they would publish their design into InVision, so it's clickable and people could use it and they could do user testing with it. So Figma is actually the most recommended tool here. We have advanced prototyping again. This advanced prototyping means that, it's not just a clickable prototype. You can actually have a way to have more of a playground for developers to inspect, a way to have more, variables and CSS out of it. So it has a lot of capabilities, like analytics, so it can actually be a working prototype that people can use as if it was an actual app, so people can test it. So it's more than just a clickable prototype. So ProtoPie is the biggest one, but frankly I've never used it, so maybe we can explore it together in the class. But as I mentioned, Figma has just a clickable prototype, so there isn't much to it. Maybe a plugin can help you make it more of a workable app that people can test in an actual browser, etc. But I haven't used it, frankly. But what you can do is that you can take a Figma design and make it into a Webflow app. And I mentioned the Webflow is a low-code, no-code tool that helps bring designs to become working applications and websites. So I've seen a lot of designers go from a Figma prototype to a Webflow working app, and that works as an actual advanced prototyping tool. And this Azure is also there. So these are the tools you want to keep in mind here. Portfolio builders, again, Webflow comes up as a portfolio builder because it's easy to make, it's friendly, there is a templates library. Behance is actually like a space for you to, it's a really nice space for any graphic person or UX designer because you can post your projects there and there is a community and you get reviews and you can even make your portfolio there, and it's a part of a bigger portfolio community, so it's not really independent, but you can have your own space. I can even try and show you a little bit how this looks like. So see, like anybody who does design in general, like architectural design, fashion design, I'll just go with UX and UI, and you can see that. See, like, for example, this is I think these are also like design work that I think some people can just view as inspiration. See? And so this person, if I were to click on them, who worked on that design, you can see they have their own library of portfolio items. So this is obviously not really UX, but it has like multiple types of designs and you can follow them. And this is good. Like if you give a recruiter your profile like this and they see how many people appreciated your work, this is likely to give you more and more aspect. You can connect. It's a community. So if you want to actually go to the real portfolio of that UX designer, you just have to click on that site link and then accept, and then you can see their projects. And I think this is also built in Behance as well, so you can have your own domain link. See, so this is great as a platform. So again, Webflow, Behance, Squarespace, Notion. We will see how you can use a Notion template to become a web link where you can host your portfolio and you don't have to pay any domain or hosting platform. So this is a very amazing thing. And Notion is like a notebook, so you can keep on adding to it as you work more on projects. You can make it visual, etc. Wix is also one of those websites building apps that you can work with. Adobe Portfolio, I haven't used it personally, but that's an option. So there is even Medium, so there are lots, but we'll focus in this class on Notion and Webflow. But if you want to go and actually add yourself to Behance and Dribbble, these are good learning communities for UX designers to connect and share their work. Okay, whiteboarding. Obviously, Miro is the top one right now. It's the one that we use to, create some, do some research, take notes, wireframe, sketch, storyboard. It's a really nice way because it helps you think in very much 360 view. You don't think linearly like if you were on a Word doc. You think like your brain would do. You can do diagrams and mind maps, and they have a lot of design-oriented templates. You can have workshops there, so you can, have people do things for a workshop in that whiteboard. You don't need an actual wall to get people to do some design thinking work. So it's very powerful, Miro. FigJam is actually the new Miro of Figma. So it's very nice because it works in the same browser app, and so you can have Figma and FigJam work together, and so you can have a lot of like exploration in FigJam. You can copy paste things to your Figma files. It's really versatile. It's amazing. I think it's going in a few years, as I speak today, it's going to outperform Miro, because the fact for UX designers, because the fact that it's all connected with Figma, you can have everything in one place. And let's say you have a plugin that you use to create, a checklist. You can copy that checklist plugin and then have it in your Figma file that may not have that plugin. So it's just amazing. They have also a library of templates. It's amazing. I think my prediction, FigJam will become much bigger than Miro. And you can use both of them for free. They have free trials. The Miro trial is better because you can just have like 3 top files and then that's it. And FigJam, you can, I think there is a limitation for it, but I think you can still use the normal type of subscription and still like the free trial and still use FigJam. I use an enterprise one, so that's why I'm not really so sure, but you can just create your free trial here. Okay, so user flows. I think that Miro and FigJam are good enough. You don't have, and Figma too, you don't have to have any fancy tools. But like the top user flow ones would be Zeppelin, and we will not go here. I'll just work with you on Miro and Figma. Because what is a user flow? A user flow is basically a diagram that expresses what your user is going to go through in terms of key moments in that experience. So let's keep that in mind. And then design systems. So where would you host your design system library? Before, in my team, we used to use Sketch. Now we're using Figma. It's amazing how you can have your libraries there. You can update them. You can work with the styling and branding using design tokens, which we will cover. It's amazing. So I highly recommend Figma for this, and we will use it in this class. And that's it for the UX Toolbox.